that I value very much, something I sign my life on the line to protect multiple times under attack. It's that flag and what it stands for. And it's under attack from both the left and the right. So, just so you know, I'm an equal opportunity offender. You know, when you go into certain speaking engagements, and you know the next morning that one side's going to call you a racist, and they will. And the other side's going to call you a Fed quote, and I'll explain that later. You know, it's going to be an interesting night. Okay? Because, folks, hate knows no party line. There is no party line to hate. And quite frankly, both the sides are showing plenty of it. I grew up a Democrat. My grandmother was the head of the Democratic Party in Sweetwater, Wyoming. Sweetwater County. We had multiple discussions about politics now. Her favorite statement to me was, you know, you'll make a great Republican one day. Oh, wow. Maybe she knew more. But it's not about the letter behind your name. It's about what's inside your heart. And quite frankly, we have forgotten that as a nation. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm good at that. But Rodney, would you stand up?
Hey, Rodney.
The reason I had Rodney stand up because about 4 or 5 years ago, he, I, Kevin Parker, Sean Davis, I can't remember the other fellow's name from Wentworth, sat down at Perkins one morning talking about what are we going to do about a knowingly racist pastor being invited to speak to the church of Spokane. Collectively. What are we going to do about that? Well, we developed a plan, and I think it worked. But Rodney had a few other things to do today. But he's here. Thank you. So, the threats we face. As I said, we have 3 types of threats. External means external to the country, internal to the country, and politics.
Ozzie, can you move your mic up just a little?
Yes, yes, got it? All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And political. I don't know which is worse. Honestly, I can't rank them anymore. If you ask me one day to another, I'd say political probably troubles me the most because it drives the other 2. Because they know we're divided. And you'll understand what I have to say when I say that by the time I'm done tonight. Our enemies know us better than we know our own selves. Or maybe we're just not wise enough to understand that that pledge that we take, you know, indivisible, united. I think they're just words anymore. I think they're just words anymore. I don't know if you really believe that anymore. Because if you did, there's no way you would be allowing what's happening to our country to happen. On any side. Well, the media's not going to like me. So, how did we get here? And why are people able to do this to us? Well, it's a plan, folks. There's your own roadmap right there. Marxists use it. Alt-right uses it. It's used across the board. Right there. Keep us divided over things that really don't matter. Just keep us divided. Destroy the people's faith in their natural leaders, the ones you elect. Destroy your faith in us. Now, some of us probably don't deserve your faith, but this is an active game plan. And it's being used, it's being played out every day in America. And, it would have been a lot easier if I would have listened to Cecily Wright in 2010 and just done what I was told. Because that's what I was told. Well, that's never been me. I will not stand by and watch what I value torn apart. So, always preach democracy, but be prepared to seize power. And when you seize it violently. And that will become more clear also. One thing that neither side of the line ever talks about anymore is the massive debt this country faces. Write checks we don't have the ability to pay anymore. And go ahead and foster lenient attitude on the part of protests and disturbances. And that's not happening today now, is it? All you got to do is go to court and plan that. All right? And destroy the old moral values, the frameworks. That's not happening either, is it? Just ask any teacher what it's like to try to control a classroom nowadays. So, fallout from past presentations. Before my first presentation back in 2015, June of, I had a Republican 6th District PCO purchase tickets under Ted Kaczynski's name. Spun the FBI up just a little, all right? They went after me too. Remember that part about discredit the message or the messenger? You got to do that so no one believes anymore. That group went after me too. And then they said this, that I compared constitutionalists to ISIS, and when that didn't work, they said I compared Christians to ISIS. We even had one group who some Spokane Valley City Council members attend, accused our deputies of surveilling them. So we had a major internal investigation on that. We don't have cameras, folks. None of that happened. Discredit, discredit, discredit. You have to discredit. And then the second round hit. Representative Shea and InfoWars, who Representative Shea had a close relationship with, Alex, said I did the same thing. Well, maybe there it is. The reporter who wrote this story called me one day and went, Ozzie, I've never seen a story spun like this. I've never seen so much blatant lies told about a story. If you see, you might not be able to, it's way down here. No, the sheriff didn't do that. He's got the whole interview on tape. Never happened. Got to discredit. And they're doing it by lying. by falsehood. Now, it's not just the right that does that either. In his own words, that's Matt Shea in the middle there. Outrageous to compare Constitution with Christians' devices. You know, folks, I met that man's battalion commander overnight in Iraq. Interesting story. And that's what I'll be labeled, loyalist, head coach. That's my response to Anthony Bosworth. You know, if me standing up for that flag makes me a loyalist, guilty as charged. I love the Spokane Review. They take the best pictures of me. Maybe not. They learned their right to do worse. And this is what they said to about Sheriff Dave Ward also. Dave was the sheriff of the county that these people went and tried to take over. And they literally tried to take it over. They tried to eliminate their government. I interviewed this man on my radio program, and he said one thing to me that has resonated with me for ever since. Ozzie, if they get away with it here, there will be no small community in America that is safe. Sadly, they got away with it. So how do we truly get it? Well, some of the former speakers talked about some of this. Fear. If I can get you to be fearful, it's not hard for me to get you angry. If I can get you angry, I can doctrine you and lead you to that hate. And once I get you to that hate part, there's a lot of things I can get you to do. And this is played out on both the left and the right. And it's all done through falsehoods. Folks, I can't hide from who I am. I truly believe that this nation was ordained by God. I believe that our founding fathers were ordained by the hand of God to make us a free nation. But God gave us this thing called a choice. ABC. No man has the right to rule over another or woman. So I'll never be able to escape who I am. And I'll tell you another thing. I very rarely talk about religion, especially in this format, especially during politics. And here's why. When I close my eyes for the last time, I don't want to look at my Savior and say, or when he asked this question, did you invoke my name to get one more vote? I don't want to answer that question. But never doubt my faith. Never doubt it. Never doubt my faith in the man upstairs or that flag. So, on the domestic side, take a look at number 3 for me, because that has become a taboo word in certain sectors, especially in Olympia. Folks, you that deal with that problem, or you watch more young African American males die. And it is not compassion. It is not compassion not to deal with that and not to talk about it. It's murder. We are allowing our young African American males to die at a frightening rate because we refuse to talk about it and deal with it. And that is a shame, and that is an indictment on all of us. Those kids deserve better. And until we have the courage to go, it may not be all one person's or one side's fault, those kids continue to die. Got the same old parties except for one. Russia is up there. Goodness gracious, why is Russia up there? You'll find out. This is what it leads to, folks. That's the extreme right. That's your international. And quite frankly, the left's not much better. They have their own slides to go with it. McVeigh had tentacles up to this area. Much of what we talk about is driven. Yes, ISIS is still active. They're still doing bad things. I'm not going to talk about them all. But I was told by some of my friends on the right that, what are you worried about? They can't hit us here. Well, guess what? I think they're here. You have training camps in the United States, folks. And I don't know why that's not being reported even harder. This is not good. It's not good on their side, it's not good on the right side, it's not good on the left side, because they're all doing it. Antifa. If you talk to the left and some in the media, and that's not a problem. Well, they are. They like to jazz things up, and they like to cause a problem, and they have an agenda. And they, in their actions, are listed on the terrorism side of life. So, this is what they're all about. You know, they want to cause a problem. They want to cause a meltdown. They're arming up as hard as the extreme right is arming up, and they're all arming up because they want to go at each other. And we're in between. I hope you realize that. We're in between that mess. So like I said, when they spun up, so did the right. And they're using it to raise money, folks. They're using it to raise money to spread this garbage all over our country, both on the left and the right. ACLU says that they don't even exist. They don't exist. Well, I have an issue with the ACLU because I don't really take what they say with much grain of anything. Because they had me, my agency, in one of their reports, I think it was about 2015, War Comes Home, 2014. And they said that the SWAT team had affected 588 African Americans in those 2 years. Okay? There's the truth. 4. They explained how they got to 588. It's a unique math equation. Okay. Why not just be honest? It was 4. Why can't we be honest with each other? Because it doesn't drive agendas. Well, because the ACLU said that, I said, well, I wonder what the other left side group that watches this stuff has to say about them, and this is what Southern Poverty Law Center had to say about it. And surprisingly, they got it right. Those are strong words. And these are words right out of one of their leaders. Go down to the last sentence. I love it when they bring children into it. 2015 2014, this is going to be a seminal year in a lot of these things I talked about. And I'll tell you why this is so important to me, because on 7/7/2016, something happened that changed me, and it changed me forever. I've been warning people that things were getting bad, but I have a guilt complex because I feel like I didn't warn people enough. And I couldn't get our leadership of this country, this state, anywhere to pay attention to what was coming. But on 7/7/2016, 5 Dallas police officers died because of this hate. That applies to hate killed them. I said, never again. This did not happen, folks, the way you have been told it happened. It didn't. And people died because of it. And this nation tore itself apart because of it. Because this is what happened. And if you notice, I asked the question, when is the media going to fix this? We cannot continue to destroy each other over something that didn't happen. Nor can we have people killing each other because something didn't happen. It was a narrative, it was driven. The first round went off in the car because Michael Brown had that officer's gun. He had taken it away from him. He was able to get his gun back, spun it, and the first round went into the door. Yes, by me. And the activists. And the activists. You'll understand, folks, I don't hide that fact. I'm not a fan of activists. One of the most amazing questions that I ever read was in some of these documents when the federal prosecutor asked that officer, why did you chase after Frank? Well, that's kind of what we do. The guy just did all this. He was a threat to the community. He took after him. The guy just turned around, growled at him, and took off back at him. And then he was shot. Remember, he already had his gun once. You didn't know any of that. Wonder why. But they're not going to change the story anytime soon, because this was a couple of weeks ago in the Spokane Review. Yeah. I'm actually doing some research on this one. I stay up late at night. Odd me. All right. Because the claims in this article are fairly interesting. But here's some of the poison that's being spread. And this is about the men and women that wear the badge, the men and women that protect you. We are shooting you and killing you, women, men, children, pets. You're being killed execution style. You're being shot like dogs in the street. Like dogs in the street. You know when those bullets started flying in Dallas? You know what those officers did? They started jumping on people and getting them out of the way and shielding them with their own bodies. Dallas PD showed the world what we are about that night. We care about you and we protect you. And matter of fact, the ones they were shielding with their own bodies were there to protest them. So, I want to break some bubbles here. No, this did not come from the black extremists or from the left. This came from the right. All that stuff you just read came from the right. And the God people are the ones that pushed it out into my community, our community. Both sides are spreading hate, folks. Both sides. So what does Russia have to do with this? Contrary to what the media likes to focus on, and our politicians like to focus on, Russia did interfere in our elections. Not the way that they want to say it, but they did. And there's the indictment that shows it. When did they say they started? Around 2014. What was going on in 2014 that they saw that window open? Protests, riots, Americans at each other's throats. They did it by joining both sides on social media. Both sides. They fed both sides the hate and the anger. They spun you all up. Both sides. Perhaps they know us better than we know ourselves. Or maybe they know that we have flat abandoned the very principles that we were founded on, and that is the unity of spirit that we have as a nation. Maybe they have tapped into that. Maybe they realize that we're not about America anymore, or Americans, we're about peas and ours. Maybe that's what it's all about. So they did influence. And here's the right. Okay. I won't embarrass by asking in reverse. I'll just ask it this way. How many of you are constitutionalists? How many of you really believe in the Constitution? Don't be shy. It's amazing. You're the first group that's ever done that to me. Because most of the time, all hands go up. Yes, the Constitution's. I am. I believe in the Constitution. Why does the Constitution is such a dirty word? Well, how many veterans are in here? Thank you for your service. I believe that anybody who wears a badge understands that we live and die by the Constitution on a daily basis. But this is what happened that were radicalized extremism and hate. All right, how do I make this one play?
May the 20th, 2010 started out like any other day. Two veterans of our West Memphis, Arkansas Police Department, Bill Evans and Brandon Powers, were patrolling the interstate as part of the department's drug and addiction team, something they love to do. They became involved in what seemed to be a routine traffic stop, though I've always warned my officers there is no such thing. But really, how much more routine can you get in pulling over a father and son in what looked like a church bus? My men didn't realize who or what they were dealing with. Neither officer made it home. And one of them was my son. I'm Bob Howard, Chief of the West Memphis Police Department. My officers, Bill and my son Brandon, didn't realize that there are people at war with this country that are not international terrorists. They are seemingly ordinary people, just like you and me, but they don't recognize the federal government's authority to impose laws or taxes on them. They're known as sovereign citizens. Their beliefs may sound so out there that they appear comical or crazy, but don't discount or ignore these people because they're willing to kill and be killed for these beliefs. We as law enforcement officers need to recognize this very real threat so we can protect ourselves. And maybe if Brandon and Bill had been able to recognize the warning signs of softened beliefs, they'd be alive today.
Exit 275 on 40, these guys just shot a police officer right on the exit. You said you're at officer's been shot on the 270 west, exit 275 on 40, right now on 40. Where are you right now? I'm at the exit, you're right in front of me, about 100 feet. Okay, it's a white what? It's a white caravan, a white guy, please hurry. He went off right on. You talk with that, y'all looking at this. They're both dead now. They killed both guys. The sheriff one, he does this. They're all ran behind the car, and they shot him in the head. Where's the suspect now? They just left on a white caravan. They went right on the exit. They're behind on an automatic weapon. They're all with automatic weapons. Where are you at now? I'm sitting right over the counter. At what county were you in? Whoa, I'm in the FedEx truck. You can't lose this. It's here. Come forward. He's coming.
Engage 2 more police officers right now.
Jerry and Joe Kane were finally stopped for good after they killed my son in his apartment that day. The night before, 2 other courageous officers were injured. We, as law enforcement professionals, face danger every day. We know that's part of our job. Hopefully this video is giving you some new tools to keep yourself safe. No officer should have to die like Brandon and Bill.
So both the left and the right play this one. And we have, going back to this, this is what Mr. Alex Jones had to say. Please.
Now let's go to some more of your phone calls, and we will be going over that as soon as we're able to grab the video. But that just broke. Mikhail Phelan, Infowars.com. And then let's grab the Spokane video from last year where the SWAT team commander goes, "We need this armored vehicle. There are a lot of gun owners and veterans and constitutionalists." And we got them in Indiana saying the same thing. Constitutionalists haven't done anything to anybody. I mean, maybe 3 cops a year. On average, I think 4 got killed in 2013, 3 in 2014, and I think 2 cops so far have been killed by constitutionalists, where the media couldn't link it to a group, sovereign citizens. I mean, that's one of the lowest crime rates of any group out there. But if you watch MSNBC, you believe there is just an epidemic of police being killed by right-wingers. And it's total baloney. But they keep saying it's going to happen. And a lot of it is that it gets the police in this attitude of messing with constitutionalists, and then you get a self-fulfilling prophecy. Wow. So as soon as we get that video, we'll be playing it. The video is up on Infowars.com. Phone calls, and we will.
Well, I'm not sure what happened. One day I'd like to run into Alex. I have a few questions for him. And one day, maybe Matt Shea will have the guts enough to stand before me and answer a few questions himself. This individual came to the Spokane area. This is the guy at the dog tracks in 2009. He was brought here by our local right. Shared the stage with him. He said we need to take back the word militia. When people have villainized it. And this is what he went and did. Developed a 2-for-1 plan, killed two of us for one of them. He's serving time right now. White supremacy, it's real. It's real in this area. It's been here for a very, very long time. Christian identity movement is at the center of most of it. Pete Peters is one of the mentors of most of the people that we all talk about. And that's his philosophy. They helped form that group. And this is who Matt Shea shares the stage with on a continual basis. And to drive home the point, they all said that if they didn't agree with the full tenets, they just throw it away. They must have all agreed because they were one of them. Team Rugged. It's an actual email, folks. It's an actual email. This is about youth and training camps and things like that. There will be scenarios where we participate, or where every participant will fight against one of the most barbaric enemies that are invading our country, Muslim terrorists. There will be biblical teaching, some taken from Pastor John Major's works. He's an old school Confederate. You heard that. This is who's teaching us kids. This is who's teaching us kids. This is who Matt Shea shares the stage with. Mind you, this is to Mr. Shea. Northwest Imperative. I was getting my haircut back in the 1990s in Rock Springs, Wyoming, my hometown. I was a police officer. I had hair. And this gentleman started talking to me about a white homeland. They were recruiting law enforcement folks. I remember coming home one day, because I was also the first school resource officer, and telling my wife, you know, if something doesn't change, we're going to have a problem in about 20 years. She said, why is that? Because I just spent 2 hours at the high school trying to convince a group of kids not to start an Aryan Nations gang to counteract the blood principles. And all I heard was there's no hope. No hope, no hope, no hope, no hope. This is how they drag you down this road. We are one of the greatest nations in the world, and you wouldn't think that. Because everybody walks around going, it's all bad. Folks, if this is bad, if you think this is bad, let me take you to some foreign countries, and let me show you what is bad. I've been overseas. And I know what that flag means to every soldier that sees it when you're overseas. That's home. But they do want a white nation. Idaho, Oregon, Washington, Montana, Wyoming, some add Alaska now. This is what they want. 1995, you can find, do your research. You don't have to believe, or 85, you don't have to believe my wife. You don't have to believe, you can do your own research. I've been researching this since the 1990s when I had to talk to a group of kids. And look, you don't want to go down this path. This isn't just now for me. This has been almost 29 years of fighting this hate. 29 years of fighting this hate. The order, Christian identity. Zionists, they hate Jews. Seems like everybody does, because I think the black extremists said the same thing. Spokane has a history of standing up against this. But this ideology is still persistent today. They've hijacked this movement. Folks, I've been a prepper before prepper was being cool. All right? They hijacked this one too. Because in 2015, this group had a meeting, and these are the actual things you can go and click on and play. Now, who was on this stage? Pastor Chuck Baldwin, American Redoubt. Representative Matt Shea on Redoubt. Pastor John Weaver, One is the time. That's one is the time. There's a time for the war. Then he goes into the combat mindset. October of 2015. Keep that in your mind, because the puzzle is being laid right now. Pieces are being put together for you. You got to remember, you have all kinds of groups within groups. And they love to infiltrate groups. This guy, there's a link, go watch it. You want to see if you're an anti-Zionist? Listen to him. This guy, that's John Weaver, right down to his Confederate flag tie. This organization was founded by Matt at the first Monday standoff. In November of 2015, that organization started spreading the falsehoods about the Hammond issue in Harney County. By December of 2015, Ammon Bundy was up there. By January of 2016, they had taken it over, and Operation Cold Reality was kicked off by Representative Matt Shea. That's who Bill Mentor is. They all use codes. It's right there. Now they say that their mission was to go down and restore peace and leadership and everything else. Well, yeah, that's a good way to get some press time when you kick it off. But they say that the FBI, and this is early, this is like January 4th, is wrapping it up. No, we weren't. I was keeping a tight pulse on that. Talk about the gun issue. That is one issue, folks, that could severely divide this nation. Plain and simple. Never discount that. Mr. Beto, good luck. Bundy, they say what he's doing, the 3% movement nationally, said stay home, get ready to fight on the ground. Oath Keepers are not happy about him and what he did. And the coalition of Western states were getting ready to deploy. Their intent, peaceful resolution. Their strategy, expose them as tyrants by making them act as tyrants. There you go. That's our hero. That's good old Sheriff Richard Mack. That's Richard Mack at Bundy 1. I went to Richard Mack's constitutional sheriff's webpage right after this, and I heard him whining about why all the sheriffs were dropping out of his organization. There was a reason, because no sheriff would ever do that. That is a coward's act. But that's their hero. Here are your priorities on intelligence, and look where that intelligence is supposed to go. It is supposed to go to Scout, Mr. Bosworth, JJS, Fox 519, that would be Mr. Pounder, and Matt Shea. Folks, inside all the materials that Jay has given me, and it's mind-numbing, I actually found where they have a list of all law enforcement within the area, plus blueprints to our buildings. Huh. Who's in command? Oath keepers were not happy. Not happy. But they do issue their warnings. They say that the Hammonds didn't want you up there, and they didn't. The Hammonds did not want Matt and company up there. They deceived the Hammonds. Now, these folks, these are out the worst of the old keepers. They were attempting to rope them into a premeditated, manufactured armed standoff. Most of the people ended up at that Wildlife for Our Future. When they took it over, they went, what did we just do? They didn't have a clue that that was about to happen to them. I love the way he describes some of these folks. And this committee of safety, this group is already setting up a sub-government within this county. I have the documentation. I actually have the names of the people that attended to the meetings. This is real. Goes back into more of how they were lied to. Because according to the Oath Keepers, the only way they're supposed to engage is if the community asks them to. And a warning, treat it with tricky gloves or at risk of civil war. That's because that's what they wanted up there. They wanted a civil war. This is another article from the Oath Keepers. There you go. They want to kick it off. Second revolution. You know, I've only known one revolution that ever turned out right. I mean, I want you to think about your history. And how I did it turn out right. You have the right men doing it. You have men like George Washington that when they said we'll make you king, said, you didn't do it for that reason. We did it to make sure people were free and could live and live themselves. Matt Shea is not George Washington in any shape, way, or form. And this is not insensitive. George Washington would have debated his opponents. They thought it was stupid what was going on up there. Again, they talk about it being manufactured and fabricated. It was all fabricated, folks. These are who Matt and Ammon associate with. A felon and a stolen dollar individual. Folks, I've been dealing with the militia here locally for a long time, and I know them. I worked with them. I met them this way in 2010. I started seeing groups wanted to meet with me and saw a certain tone. So I had my staff assistant set up those meetings every 30 minutes. And I arranged it so they had to walk past each other. Because they were the same group. They just were wanting to see if I would tell them the same thing each and every time. Well, the last one was with their commander. He says, Sheriff, you don't have to worry about it when it all comes down, and that's a key word for it all coming down. You don't have to worry about it, we'll be in Washington, D.C., taking our country back. I said, let me tell you something. The way I see this, there are some really good people really worried about things because about 2010, mid-Great Recession. Fear, Jay talked about fear, high. I said, there are people that are gearing up just in case everything kind of goes down. And I don't have a problem with that, if you're that type of militia. But if you're the type of militia that's looking for the tripwire to make it all go down, the eyes staring back at you from across that fence will be mine. Ooh, dead silence. And he said, you know, if you would have said anything different, I lost all respect for you. And we've had a relationship ever since. Anthony Bosworth, this is right after Roy died. Roy Finnegan just died. Anthony is trying to get people, all right, let's get out of here because it's all falling apart here, even though it had been down there instigating. I need you to play this. Now, before you hit play, Roy told everybody that he wasn't coming out. They wanted a martyr. They wanted this to be their album. Okay.
The real outfits that are attacked are immediately abandoned. Okay, we already have our murder.
We already have a martyr. All right.
Where's the fight? Where's the fight? Where there's no employee.
Are you saying going full attack against guy's office?
Regroup, get in, go find out who works for the vet and start executing them. Execute them, their families, everyone. Make a statement if you work for these people. I'll be here to die.
Most little garble that it goes, find those who work for the feds and kill them. Kill their families, kill everyone. Make them understand what it means to work. That is. They're killing kids. So it's not just the left that talks about killing kids or the black extremists who talk about killing kids. These people talk about killing kids too.
Where is it?
And this was their mindset.
These are a bunch of sarky motherfuckers that are tucking and diving with their fucking tails between their legs. We came here for one fucking reason, and that's to fight. All you guys want to fucking leave because I want to be complacent.
The Constitution. That's why I can't fight.
List materials if you want to go kill some time. These are the falsehoods that the right pushed out during that takeover. The FBI put a gag order, no, they didn't. Sheriff was a former, no, he wasn't a former BLM. FBI posing as members of militia, no, they didn't. Fire chief caught him, no, he didn't. He actually had to apologize for that. And BLM was burning cows and destroying ranches. And that came from Gavin Stein and no one cows member. This is the propaganda that he was putting out right at the time that takeover was taking place. Would it sound like they were trying to peacefully resolve something? Not when you're doing this. Not when you're spinning it up so you can get more people down there. Could it happen here? Because we lack time, I'm just going to tell you, Turbo sent out a bunch of mail to people that have property next to theirs, saying, we'll buy it if you want to sell. This family said, okay, but it had a problem. It was an estate. Part of the family wanted to sell, part didn't. It was a mess. But the messaging that was taking place on this thing was the evil federal government was coming to take this ranch. And Mr. Shea pushed that out. Folks, for 3 weeks I fought to keep that one under control. This region, both imports and exports, is, you've seen this, Kehoe's, Butler, this young gentleman, firebomb synagogue. This guy went down and killed people. Spokane County Sheriff's Office had to deal with these people. They blew up Planned Parenthood, robbed banks. This is why we have our own vehicles. Down. I was on the SWAT team at the time. How are we going to take down this heavily armed bunch? The idea was presented that, well, we'll get a dump truck. We'll put the team inside the dump truck because it's got metal or something. I went, whoa, 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 time out. So you want to make a ricochet bin? Because that's what you're doing. Because those rounds are coming through that. Because that's what they want. Mr. Harping, I was in that march. And here we are today. Here we are today. Generated by land up north. And these are violent white extremists. These are the type that are building bases. The base actually means training base. We had that, if you remember that slide. Remember one?
Are you calling narcotic, Matt Shea?
See, there it goes, Miss Readout. Miss Readout. Life under the Restoration Act. This is how it's going to be once they seize power. Do it quickly so you don't have a lasting guerrilla war. No revenge killings. Oh, but Limas are lawyers. I guess we should have been worried about FEMA camps. Maybe the Lima camps were better. If they were elected or in positions of power, they were prosecuted and punished. If they were just workers, you can get pardoned for that, but only if you swear allegiance. Limas, and that's the federal United States, and now this is establishing the government. You seized Lima houses and buildings for your internal government officials. Committees of the whole. I told you they're already being worked on. As a general rule, no former elected can play in this arena unless you can prove it. Now, I'm going to ask you, does any of this sound like preserving our nation? Okay? Does any of this sound like preserving that flag? Okay. Because if it was, they need to go down for treason because only Congress gets to do what's under that line. They're talking about entering in treaties with foreign nations. Oh, all law enforcement, you get fired. And only okay former cops get to do that job. And there's the preamble. That's the preamble to the Constitution. Right there, constitutional changes, read the top. Oh, immigration works like that. current percentages. Welcome place, isn't it? Capital punishment. And at least they're going to discuss it all. And negotiate the final settlement with the tribes because they all get wrapped in. There we go. Folks, I don't want to live under that. But that was the plan. Because if you get labeled by them, and trust me, I've been labeled. I wear that label. Wore it for a long time. You are done. It would have been a lot easier for me to listen to Cecily back in 2010 because I probably wouldn't have had opponents. Okay? I didn't want the crew. I didn't want the cool kids. There's no way that type of evil can be allowed in this community. There's no way that we allow that flag to fall. It is time for you to decide if you're about protecting and saving this nation or destroying it. And that's both sides of the coin. Do we protect her or do we let her fall? Follow the rule of law. So, I do have strong beliefs on all sides, folks. But I thank every one of you for coming. And if you notice, we didn't exclude anybody. Unlike certain meetings that are held. We didn't exclude anybody. And anytime Mr. Shea or Mr. Chase would like to stand on this stage with me and to take this point by point, I'm here. I've told Matt that for many years, folks. Because what you don't realize is at one point, the Republican Party asked me to mentor Matt. Kind of keep him out of trouble while he's at home. I failed. I met with Matt one last time with Jim Roberts and the Ryan Sheriff out here at the Valley Mall and said, I'm done. And Jim went into his normal excuses. He's a young, passionate man. I said, no, time out. He's 35 years old. He's a military officer. He should be able to control himself. He should be able to control himself. I'm done. I called Joe Kretz and said, I'm done. And I was. And I had a lot on the line, folks. I had a political career. I had all those things. But you know, getting reelected at the risk of your integrity means nothing. It shouldn't be. And every conversation I have had with these people, there's one word that always surfaces, and it's power. They are power drunk and they are power driven. And for me, here's my advice. Any politician that talks about their power, run. They're not in it for you. And I'll tell you what keeps me grounded as far as power. Two examples, King David and Solomon. They both went down to power. Power, folks, I know the power I have. And I pray to God I only use it for good. I only use it to serve you. At the end of the day, I hope I fulfill a promise I talked to my wife about at a kitchen table almost 14 years ago. If I do this, I want to do it right. That means not just showing up every 4 years to get your vote. That means being at every community event I can every summer, anytime, so I can reach out to you. And so I represent you right. In 39 months, I hope that is what you will say about me. Because I'm done in 39 months. Thank you.